Hi, good morning. Happy Wednesday. Hey, can you come on this side? Because I don't want to walk right through the garden. She's got all her beautiful garlic there. I think that's elephant garlic. It has the prettiest blooms on it. I think I planted some, ow, but I don't think it grew. My knees like, what are you doing to me climbing this hill? I was fine just a minute ago, and now all of a sudden you want to climb a hill like you're out climbing a rock or something. Happy Wednesday. Did I already say that? I don't even know. I've got to go get my oil changed. And can I tell y'all, I think I would rather have a colonoscopy than have my oil changed. I hate it. I hate it. I mean, just like with the colonoscopy, okay? It's not the oil change. That's not a good comparison. Because with the colonoscopy, it's the prep. But the oil change, I hate sitting and waiting, okay? So what I think I might do is take it over to this place over by the office. And if it's going to be a few, I can walk over to the antique store. I used to take it to this place that was right beside Kirkland's, and I could just walk over to Kirkland's, but that place closed down. See, I need to be somewhere where I can go do something else while they do what they need to do. We need more mobile mechanics. My friend's son is a mobile mechanic, and he's been to my house and done things on my car before. However, he moved to Colorado and left me here all alone, and I just need a mobile mechanic to come to my house, change my oil, rotate my tires, do all the things. I don't want to have to go. It's stinky and smelly, and I don't like it, but I gotta do it. Ugh. I'll be back, okay? Okay. I would just like to say that I went to have my oil changed, and according to Ryan, I was taken advantage of, and from now on, he's gonna take my car for oil changes because he said, I think they charged you for blinker fluid. I said, do you mean my blinkers don't need fluid? What about the fluid or oil they put in my horn to make my horn blow? And he looked at me with his gigantic brown eyes. I'm sorry, let me back up. After I had my oil changed, I went by the office to drop off water. And I asked Ryan to come get the water because while I am fully capable of carrying the water into the office, why when there's a man there to do it, right? Because God built them for things such as this. That's why he gave them this strength here that we don't have. Now, we have the strength here to carry babies that they don't have. But, he can carry that water. Anyway, he said I paid too much for my oil change, and he, I guess, is gonna take my car for an oil change next year, because I only take it once a year for an oil change, because I'm just like my grandmother, and I have very low miles on my car. My car is 4 years old. I've had it for 4 years now, and it has 19,000 miles on it. So I am my grandmother. My grandmother is I, and I barely put miles on a car, okay? So I thought by getting the synthetic oil and all that stuff, that it was better and it's going to do better for a year. And Ryan just looked at me kind of funny, and then he didn't know whether to believe me or not when I told him they charged me $82 for air in my tires, which is not true. I was being sarcastic. And then he asked about the blinker fluid, and then I told him about the fluid they put in my horn, and I don't think he really knew whether to believe me or not. And I said, well, next time, sir, I'm going to come to work, and you're going to drive my car and get the oil changed and bring it back to me, okay? Because they say big words that I don't know about cars, okay? And they told me I probably need a new battery soon. If I want to come every week and have it tested, I can for free. And he said, you probably don't even need a new battery. And I said, well, they said it was only $300. He said, for a battery? I said, well, I didn't let them do it. I knew better than that because I know a battery don't cost that much. But he said, yeah, and $75 to drop it in. Do you know how easy it is to change out a battery? I said, matter of fact, sir, I've changed out a battery before in my life. It was a long time ago in a land far, far away. It was probably 40 years ago or so. Maybe not that long, but close to it, 35 years ago. And me and Michelle and Susie went to the store and somehow picked out the correct battery, and we pulled old battery out and we put new battery in, and we reconnected all the things because Susie has more of a mechanical brain. Okay, I don't have that kind of brain. I don't know what kind of brain I have except chaotic and organized at the same time. OCD, ADHD, all at the same time. But then I went to the Cozy Coop and I got me some chicken and French fries, and they gave me a biscuit. I have had a bite of the biscuit. It's probably going to kill me later. And coleslaw, but that coleslaw is bad. It's not good. It don't taste good. I mean, I'm not saying it's bad, like gone bad. I just mean it don't taste good. I'm a connoisseur of coleslaw, and Cozy Coop, you do not win in the cabbage coleslaw contest ever. And here's my dog, who is addicted to duck treats, okay? Specifically, she is addicted to Zook's Duck and Apple treats. Yeah, they're mini dog treats, and she has a problem. And so do I, because I'm her provider. I'm her dealer, okay? So we have issues over here, but I'm going to go back to eating my lunch, but I just wanted to tell you that about Ryan and my car, but my oil's changed for another year. I would also like to say that I put on capri length pants today, and I didn't realize till I got out in the world that my 4 stray hairs on my right leg have not been shaved. So I hope no one had really good vision and could see those 4 stray hairs sticking straight out, okay? Because, like my car, I change the oil once a year. I probably shave my legs twice a year because there's just nothing there. You know what I'm saying? I guess that's my indigenous heritage coming out through my hair follicles, or lack of hair follicles. I only have it all over my head and my eyebrows, and there's no hair. There's no hair. There's no hair on my legs except for those 4 wild hairs that grow on my right leg. Maybe that comes from the German side, that I have 4 hairs on my right leg. I don't know. Or the Irish or the English. I don't know. But the indigenous side of me has no hair. So, hi. So I'm going to try to tell this next part as quickly as I can, because I realize I'm running out of time on this video. So Phoenix came out and walked with me on Monday and told me that a girl in her school got so mad that she almost popped a bubble in her brain. And I thought, that's the most accurate description of me when I get mad that I've ever heard. Popping a bubble in your brain, right? So I don't get mad very often, but when I do, it does feel like I'm gonna pop a bubble in my brain. So yesterday, I'm at work, and I didn't get mad, but it was a lot of pressure on my brain yesterday, because, you know, when you do the same thing day after day, it's all repetitive and you don't really have to think about it. But then when you really have to think about something, you have to engage that part of your brain that really hasn't been engaged in a while. You know what I'm saying? So I had to engage that special part of my brain. And long story, not even short, this company shipped us something, and they charged $700 to ship it. This is at work. And I had contacted the project manager, and I was like, hey, they charged us $700 for this. This is way outside the scope. And they were like, okay. So they contacted them, and then they never got back with him. And then I reminded him again, and he contacted them. And long story short, not even, I went back yesterday and was like, hey, this is due to be paid in 2 weeks, and I need to know the answer to this because, you know, well, it's due for payment. So anyway, then they contact them again, and they reached out to someone else who finally got back with us, because apparently the person they were contacting is no longer there or something, because that person just never answered. So they said that they were charging us that much for freight because when they attempted to deliver, that we were not at the office and that they had to hold it for 10 days. So yesterday, my bubble in my brain had to go outside the normal scope of my daily operating mind here. I had to create the bullet points, and I had to put out all the dates and what had happened and who I talked to and blah, blah, blah. And then, after all that was said and done, I woke up this morning and I was like, wait a minute. They determined the freight before it even crossed the border. So that ain't got nothing to do with the freight company holding it for 10 days. And besides the fact that they held it for 10 days, we were there to accept the order. They told us they were not going to deliver it because it was damaged. So yeah, I had a bubble popping moment yesterday, and then my bubble popped this morning to make me realize that they were just wrong, all the way around wrong. And I won the award today for the functioning brain, which is kind of scary if you think about it. That's what happened yesterday and why I didn't make a video, because by the time I got through all that, I was like, you know what? My brain is no longer operating at any sort of functioning level. So, yeah. But I did come home and try a new recipe for pork chops in the air fryer. Pork chops and applesauce. And I will make a video on that. I wanted to try it first. And plus, I didn't have all the ingredients to do it according to the recipe. And I wanted to get all the ingredients. And I didn't want to have to try to get the salt out of the owl's butt again like I had to do the other day for the chicken. And I thought, I'm just going to buy more salt. And so anyway, I didn't follow the recipe exactly. But they were very juicy pork chops. And if you know anything about pork chops, it's hard to get a juicy pork chop. You know what I'm saying? Because usually they're kind of dry. But these were very good and juicy. So I'll be making a video of that soon. I don't know when, because I got to go to the grocery store and get all the stuff and more pork chops and the applesauce. It doesn't even have applesauce with it. I just like saying applesauce. So yeah. Anyway, that's the end of this video. It was kind of wild and crazy, and that's my life. Welcome. Remember, I love you. Jesus loves you. We hope he's coming back soon, because people be crazy, and I paid too much for an oil change. And I'll talk to you on the next one, okay? Toodles.